we have a rain warning, so we're due for, I think, 100 millimeters of rain. In fact, I think it's going to continue on after that for a week. So I had to decide where I'm going to put my garlic this year, or for the coming season. I will plant it in, well, as soon as I can, actually. So these two beds are what I've chosen, mostly because the beds here and one down had the garlic for the past 2 years. So it's time to bring it up here. But first I'm just going to clean everything out. The last dredges of what's here. Really not much to eat. This was a cabbage that I harvested quite a while ago, and I left the whole plant just to see if it grew any little pups, and it has. They can go in soups, so I'll harvest those. Some very tiny carrots. These were successional sowings. They didn't get too far. I'm gonna take them anyway. I have leeks in this bed. Let's get them all out. I did process so far everything from the leeks that I've pulled, which has been quite a lot. And of course cooked and enjoyed them at the time also. Ooh. Shuffling up some worms here. Some very young celery. Celery can stay through frost or whatnot. I just really need these beds. I also have a lot of celery brought in already. Of course, weeding as I go. I'm not chopping and dropping, adding organic matter here yet, because I still have to put the garlic in. So I throw them to the sides of my beds and add them later. I have harvested so much 1,000 head kale, and these don't look that great, so I'm just going to toss these in. I'll keep the sunflower in another bed for the birds to pick at. One down, one to go. That didn't take long at all. There might be a bit more to salvage in here. I never throw anything good way. Always a use for the little scraps. Carrots are always welcome. Again, I'm just throwing everything on the ground right now. It will be later topped up on one of these beds, so I'm not that messy really. Don't waste any soil, of course. It's so dry, it came out very clean. And we'll see what leaves are good. I only want just I made the mistake in the spring of leaving just some strawberry plants that got away in this bed for some reason. I'm not sure if they're wild or if they're from my cultivated bed right there. It was a mistake. Oh, they took over. Look, tiny tomato. They took over and I couldn't keep on top. I was just yanking them out. I really... So they're coming out today too. I'm not even worried about saving them. They drove me crazy. They're everywhere. It didn't affect the growing of my vegetables, surprisingly. But what a nuisance. Look, they're everywhere. Great. Ooh, found an old onion. Strawberries everywhere. A few cabbage that didn't have the chance to make it. It's a firm head. That's a cute one. Well, that was easy work, ripping everything out, and I beat the rain. You never know what you're going to find in Greta's gardens. I mix, and there's some nice little carrots there too. I got some nice, lovely head of cabbage. It is meant to be a small one for my climate, and it's perfectly nice and hard. club artichoke, lots of more kale, lots of celery, lots of leeks. So that's not bad. I'm going to go in and clean these up. The next step I will do to these beds is to add seaweed once the garlic is planted. I won't be adding manure here because my manure isn't 100% composted down, but I put it on all the rest of the beds. It's just each year never the garlic, but that's why I chose new beds this year. This did have manure last year, and because it's only partially composted, for the rest of the beds it's got 6 to 7 months to decompose down. Seaweed, yesterday I put seaweed on 3 of the beds that were ready to go. They had the manure down and the seaweed on top. Seaweed has long been used historically here, traditionally for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. We're an island, and being remote, you couldn't get your hands on a lot of things, so they used what they could. And of course, seaweed, fish, offal we would call it, but fish bits from the cod fishing. Capelin they would use when the capelin rolls in. I read somewhere they didn't scientifically understand quite what it was, but they sure knew it worked for their gardens, and it's a free resource, and I'm going to capitalize on that also. So once I plant the garlic, I will add some of the seaweed that I gathered from the ocean the other day. And yeah, that's about it. I'm glad I'm raring to go. Now we've got about 5 days of torrential rains coming, so I'll hide away. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you soon.